Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome to the Modern Warfare 2 beta. So, I kind of wanted to share my thoughts on what I think of Modern Warfare 2, Roman numeral 2, I have to specify that because we already have a Modern Warfare 2 that came out in 2009, which was much more fun, I guess. So anyway, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts a little bit about what I think of the game. I've only played the beta for like 2 hours, so it's not that much, but I think I have a pretty good idea of how I feel about it. So overall, I don't really like the game. It just doesn't seem like it's gonna be fun for me. So I'm probably not gonna be playing it this year, or at least I'm not gonna buy it on release. Mostly because there's other games coming out like Gotham Knights and God of War Ragnarok. Like those are coming out around the same time, so I'd much rather play those than Modern Warfare 2, so I'm gonna wait on it. We'll see what happens in the next year. Or I guess there's a 2-year life cycle, so we'll see what happens with that. But as of right now, I just don't really have any interest in playing Modern Warfare 2 after playing the beta. So there are quite a few issues I do have with the game, but I'm gonna start with some positive things first. The first thing is the gameplay feels good. I've always liked the way the game feels for Infinity Ward games because, you know, the gameplay feels smooth, the gunplay is fun, it still feels good in this game. The maps are also a lot better than Modern Warfare 2019's, but the maps in Modern Warfare 2019 were probably the worst maps in Call of Duty history. So it's very difficult to make worse maps than those, so it shouldn't be too surprising that these maps are actually better. I mean, you get into gunfights constantly pretty much. I mean, in the other game it would be like a minute or two in between gunfights, and it was just extremely boring. But this game, they definitely improved on the maps. But that's really where the positive stuff ends. The main issues I have with this game are really the perks, or the perk system, I should say, and the fact that this game continues to cater towards bad players who mostly camp. And they're taking away tools from the better players who are more aggressive, who like to rush, who like that run and gun arcadey feel of old Call of Duty games. It still feels like the good players are being punished. So the perk system, instead of getting your, you know, traditional 3 perks or having a pick 10 system where you can sacrifice things for more perks, you only get 2 base perks that you get to start off the game with. And then throughout the game you can charge up 2 more perks. The first one I think is called a bonus perk. You know, that takes like 3 minutes to charge up. If you're playing well, it might be a little bit faster, but generally it's going to be like 3 minutes before you get your 3rd perk, I guess. And then there's an ultimate perk that will take, I don't remember the time on that, but it takes even longer to charge up that one. I think it's like 6 minutes or something. I'm not sure about that. The point is, you only start with 2 perks, and then the rest of your perks charge up throughout the match. I don't know why they would do that. It's like there was never really a problem with the perk system. That's always been something that's been kind of good about Call of Duty. But then they're all like, hey, let's try innovating something with the perks. And then they come up with this idea, and it's like, I don't know what they were thinking. Terrible idea. I'm going to link a video to Xclusive Ace, who's a very good Call of Duty player, a very smart Call of Duty player. So he made a video about the perk system, and one of his solutions for this was actually, instead of having perks that charge up in the match, you start off with like 3 or 4 perks, whatever, at the beginning of the match, and then throughout the match you can charge up pro versions of those perks, and that's a really good idea. So I'm gonna link the video to that in the description. Go check it out, and hopefully Infinity Ward will see that and make some changes, because they really need to make some changes to the perk system. The other issue I have is the catering towards bad players. So in Modern Warfare 2019, defensive playstyles were the way to go. If you ran around, you would pretty much get punished for it. And in this game, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, there's loud footsteps, which means if you run around, you're giving away a position. They got rid of, well, they nerfed the sliding, so sliding is basically useless at this point. I never really liked sliding too much, but it was a way to make the game feel faster, and it was another tool to use to make yourself a harder target to hit. So if you wanted to peek a corner, you slide around the corner, and you know, you're low to the ground, moving fast, and it would give you an advantage against somebody who was watching that corner. So they nerf sliding. There's no more slide canceling. The slide feels slower. It just doesn't feel right. So now really the only viable option for movement in terms of making yourself a harder target to hit is jump shotting, bunny hopping, whatever you want to call it. So now you're seeing everybody just jump around constantly because that's really the only way to go. Like, the strafe speeds are so slow that it's pretty much not really doing anything when you strafe. So you kind of have to bunny hop so that you know, make yourself a harder target to hit. Like I said, the strafe speed is so slow that if you try to peek around the corner, you're going to be moving so slowly that part of your body is going to show on the enemy screen before you're actually around that corner on your screen. So like your elbow will be peeking out and the enemy can shoot that and you know, you'll be dead before you get around the corner because strafing is so slow. So most people are just jumping around the corner because it's faster. And then, you know, we also have the sprint out times being super slow as well. So if you're sprinting and you get caught, like you get surprised by an enemy, oh well, you're dead. So it's those tools that make the game feel faster that good players can use to their advantage. You know, sliding, jumping, strafing, all those have been like, well, most of those have been nerfed. Everything except for the jumping, but, you know, if the jumping gets nerfed, then this game is just not going to be rusher friendly at all. So it's better just to sit in a corner and wait for somebody because, you know, if you move, you get punished. And it's not just movement-based stuff. They also got rid of reload canceling. So you used to be able to sprint or YY so that you cancel the reload. You used to be able to do that back in the day, but they got rid of it, and I don't know why. It was a tool that good players would use if they got surprised by an enemy. Because, you know, there are times where you'll go to reload because you think you're safe, and then all of a sudden there's an enemy in your sight, so you have to cancel that reload. It's just another tool that they've gotten rid of that good players would use. That's one of the main issues I have with the newer Call of Duty games. I've been playing Call of Duty since like 2007, since COD 4. So I've learned a lot of stuff that helps give me an advantage over somebody who might be camping or who might surprise me. There are things that I've learned, like reload canceling, like jump shotting and sliding and strafing. I've learned this stuff over the many years I've played Call of Duty, but the newer ones are nerfing those tools to the point where all of the stuff I learned just doesn't matter anymore. And that's really the main issue, because we had the tools that allowed us to be aggressive players. And even if somebody was being annoying and camping in a corner or something, there was a way to deal with them because we had the tools to make ourselves a harder target to hit, which would give us an advantage against that camper. You know, I could strafe, I could jump shot, I could slide, I could do all this stuff to throw off their aim, and it would give me a chance to deal with them. But now, Call of Duty continues to take these tools that allow for aggressive play away from us. And that means they're catering towards the campers. They want people to camp and play defensively, or they just want to allow bad players to be better than they are. They're creating this illusion that bad players are better than they are. And that's a really big problem. Sure, it'll bring in new players, but at the cost of the people who have been playing Call of Duty forever. So that's really the main issue I have with the way Call of Duty has been going over the past few years. And I would like to see it change because I like playing Call of Duty, or at least I used to, and I want to play Call of Duty again. It just seems like they don't want me to be playing because I'm an aggressive player. The game is designed to punish the better players, not just by taking away these tools from us, but also the way the matchmaking works, and that's a whole nother thing I can talk about, but I don't want this video to go on forever. So that is going to be it for now. Again, I don't recommend playing this game. I mean, if you want to check out the beta, there's going to be another beta coming up this weekend, which is like the 22nd, 23rd, something like that, of September. But I would say don't buy the full game because I don't think it's going to be fun at all. And there's much better games out there like God of War. So that's going to be it for this video. This is a different type of video than what I usually do, so let me know what you think of it. And that'll be it. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I will talk to you all later.